How you guys doing? My name is Eric, and today we're going to be talking about TPO versus Duro-Last, which is the better roofing system. Now, if you don't want to watch the whole entire video, the simple, straightforward answer is which is better. Duro-Last is more expensive, however, it is a better quality material. You're going to have less issues with that roofing system versus TPO. Now, TPO can be less expensive than Duro-Last. However, TPO is still a great system. We still like it. Sometimes TPO is a better option for a homeowner or for a business owner versus Duro-Last. It just depends. And that's what we're going to talk about. Now, I spent a couple hours researching the internet, going on YouTube, going on Google, trying to see what's out there. And really just not a lot of information out there. There's some information out there, but most of it is just kind of quick SEO stuff. So I'm trying to make this video very simple, straightforward, and as educational as I can. We are a contractor that install both TPO and Duro-Last, so we are very non-biased towards these products. I've actually personally installed both roofing systems myself. I've seen these roofing systems whenever they're having issues with leaks. I've seen them whenever we install them from the beginning. I've seen the whole entire process. So we are certified with both material. We know what we're talking about, so that's kind of why I think I can give you a very non-biased contractor's perspective. Now, number one, material itself. So when it comes to TPO, when it comes to Duro-Last, they are both single ply membranes. They look very similar. If you are a regular person, you would probably think they're exactly the same. However, one of the biggest difference between these two different materials is the chemical compound, with the chemical makeup, how it's made. That's one of the biggest difference between the TPO and the Duro-Last. Now, when I say Duro-Last, you have to understand that Duro-Last is a brand itself. Duro-Last is a type of PVC roofing membrane. TPO is not a brand itself. TPO is the type of material it is. So whenever there's TPO, it's kind of like what the brand is or what the material is. And then underneath that material, you have different brands. You have brands like GAF, they sell TPO. You have brands like Versico. You have brands like JM, Yulehyde, and so on. And within these brands, there's different qualities of brands. Like I think Versico is on the lower end, the less expensive. Other brands like JM is a little more expensive. It just depends. Now, when it comes to Duro-Last, Duro-Last is the brand itself. Duro-Last is the brand, and Duro-Last is a type of PVC roofing system. Now, I cannot buy Duro-Last at a local roofing supply store. I have to go directly to the source. So Duro-Last has manufacturing plants all over the United States. For us, the closest one in Houston is going to be Dallas. So if you want to make an order, you have to order directly with Duro-Last. And the only way to order within Duro-Last is you have to have an account with them, meaning you have to be certified. You have to go through the whole entire process with them. However, with TPO, you can get most TPO brands at your local supplier. So if you're in Houston, ABC Supply, Commercial Distribution, you can buy the material there because the material comes in rolls, like the roll goods versus Duro-Last. Duro-Last is a prefabricated roll, which I'll try to explain this less complicated, meaning that Duro-Last, it's not just a roll that you can buy. Every Duro-Last material is made custom for that roof. That's why you can't buy it at a supplier's store. You have to have everything customized for that specific job, the specific measurements of that roofing, of that roof itself. So number one, material. Both materials, if I have to give which one is better, I have to give it to Duro-Last. It's just a better chemical compound versus TPO. I still think TPO is a good material. However, just have to give it to Duro-Last. It's just a little. The material is more expensive. Let's be honest here. So that's why I have to give the material to them. Now, number two, installation. Both of them are installed very similarly. They both, like I said, are single ply membranes. So both of them, you have a couple different options. The most popular are probably going to be mechanically attached. Whenever you go in there with screws and you mechanically attach fasteners on the TPO. Another one is, or on Duralast as well. Another very popular one is fully adhered. So you go in there and you basically use a TPO adhesive bonding, which is like a glue on the installation and on the material. Both of them use similar accessories. Both of them use similar installation. ISO is used for both of them. Fan forward installation is used for both of them. Like they're very similar in terms of the how it's installed. Now, the biggest difference between these two is, like I said, TPO is a roll good, meaning that it comes in 6x100 or 10x100. So these are roll goods that kind of roll out versus Duralast, wherever they're prefabricated, meaning that Duralast, you kind of unfold, you unfold another one, and you unfold another one. Now, the benefit with the way that Duralast is made versus TPO, because you have to unfold and then unfold and then unfold, you're not having to weld those seams. There are less seams to be welded in, so that means there's less likelihood of a leak happening within those seams. Most of the times, whenever you have leaks, it's because they're coming from the seams itself. Whereas in TPO, whenever you roll out the good, you have to have a 6-inch overlap from that first rolled out to the next one to go ahead and weld those seams. So you have more seams you have to work with TPO versus Duralast, and you have more potential for that seam to have issues or for water to get into those seams. Both a good material, but if I have to give one, I have to give it to Duralast just because of the way it's fabricated. It's just better. However, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm saying that TPO is so hard to install. I think TPO is still a great product. You can still install it very easily. The only thing I would say with Duralast is that because it's prefabricated, it's just less issues with your roof potentially long term. Now, number 3, which is price. This one I have to give to TPO. Duralast is a closed system, meaning you have to get everything from Duralast sources itself, and they're very particular about how they install the roofing systems. So with Duralast, you have to buy the Duralast material. You can't use other material with the Duralast roof. You have to use the Duralast material with the Duralast roof, and because of that, the prices are higher. So their material itself is a little more expensive. You can't buy it from local suppliers. So you have to have wait time with it. So you have to have it delivered. It's a little bit more expensive. Whereas TPO, most of the time, the suppliers have it, and it is less cheaper than Duralast. So the price, I have to give it to TPO, is just better price for the consumer. Now, overall, let's talk about the little extra stuff that I want to mention. In this video, I think it seems like I'm kind of going towards Duralast. And before I made this video, I was kind of very in the between. I thought they'll be very close, but after thinking about it more and breaking it down from those things, I have to give it to Duralast. It's just a better material. However, let me make this very clear. TPO is still a good roofing system, and I would still sell TPO to my consumers. I think Duralast, the only issue with Duralast is it can get more expensive, and you have to get everything from the Duralast plants itself. There's more headaches, there's more turnaround time, where TPO is less expensive. You have more options and so on. Now, another thing to consider too, when it comes to TPO, if you have a TPO roof, let's say you hire a roofing company and you're having a leak, anybody that knows how to work with TPO can work on that leak. But if you have a Duralast roof and you have issues with the leak, you can't just have anyone working on that roof, because you have to have Duralast certified roofer to repair that and work on the roof. That's something to consider too, that people don't think about. So if you have any issues, if you have another roofer or someone that's not certified or someone that does something the wrong way, that can cancel your warranty. You have to have someone that knows how the material works and that can order the material. So like I said, the material can only be ordered from certified roofers with Duralast versus TPO. Any roofer that knows how to work single ply membrane can get that material. So I think it's easier for you to find a repair for TPO versus Duralast. But that's just kind of me talking, kind of seeing it. Again, it depends on the city and the area that you're at. Because we've gotten calls where they're having issues with Duralast roof, and we're going out there repairing it. It's an hour away from us, but they call the Duralast, company, and they're saying the closest guy that can go out there is like an hour away. So it just depends on those two systems. Also, another note to make is both systems are going to last you relatively good. I think, if I'm being honest here, if the TPO roof is installed perfectly and the Duralast roof is installed perfectly, I think the Duralast roof maybe will give you a couple more years, depending. Again, this is depending, but I still think TPO is still a good roofing system. So this is not me making a video bashing TPO. Like I said, I don't have a camp. I just think TPO can work for some owners that kind of are very conscious about their budget, or they just it depends on the roofing system itself. Look, when it comes down to these both systems, I wouldn't get so caught up between Duralast versus TPO. These are both great materials. Don't get caught up in the whole fluff and the little details. What I would really worry about, if you're the owner, just make sure you have someone that knows the material very well. If there's a contractor that knows TPO very well, can give you a good price, he's installed many of these roofs before, he can give you a great warranty, I think that's a great option. If there's someone that works with Duralast, he's installed them himself, he knows a lot of things, he can give you a great warranty, I say go for it, because issues come from material not being installed correctly rather than the material itself. So remember that. Installation, most important thing. I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how many roofs I've seen where the installation is not done right or they cut corners. Installation, installation, installation. Don't worry about the material as much as long as you get a good TPO brand, and Duro-Last is a great brand, so worry about installation. Anyways, I kind of hope that video helped. Again, I wasn't trying to ramble. I know it kind of gets confusing here and there with these two material, but at the end of the day, I recommend both. They both give me a good green light. If you have any other questions, go ahead and drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to respond to those questions. And if you want to talk about this a little bit more, if you want to talk to me directly, you have other questions, or you're looking for an estimate here in Houston, you can give us a call. Our number is 832-458-1602. We're a company located here in Spring, Texas. We work with both TPO and Duralast. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Anyways, I appreciate you for watching this video, and you guys have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.